feel really, really well after a couple of weeks.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Great. Okay, it should be live on YouTube in any moment. I think we're live on YouTube now. Welcome, YouTube audience. If you want to join into this stream, I'm going to post the Zoom link in the comments. So this live stream tends to happen once a month. Last month it didn't happen. So I'm going to do it perhaps. Oh, why is that happening? Once or twice more this month. Got it. Okay, so for those watching, I suggest if you can go to the Zoom room to ask your questions. It'll help things quite a lot. As we'll prioritize the questions that happen in Zoom first, but questions that are typed out on the YouTube chat can also be read aloud and put in the space. And also I'm putting in the YouTube chat the link. Oh, okay, that didn't work. You can just copy paste that link, I guess. Okay, so welcome everybody, and thanks for being here today. I'm Dante. I'm going to channel the Pleiadian Council, and they are an extraterrestrial consciousness that supports us in our spiritual awakening, healing, and our planet's multidimensional ascension. It is such a gift to be able to offer this to you, and a powerful experience to bring their energy through. And I hope all of you get to experience that energy today, and that you bring the questions that are most pertinent to your own soul to support your awakening and the process of other people who come here to witness this. So yeah, make sure if you're in the Zoom room, you are muted when you're not speaking, as that will help make sure that none of the background noises come into this chat and maybe affects other people. And beyond that, when the person before you has finished their question, you can hop in. And once everybody who is live in the Zoom room has asked questions, we can go to some of the YouTube questions and we can read them out loud. If somebody would be so kind to volunteer to hop onto YouTube and read them, that would be a great help. And so this is an exciting day. The book, Channeling Your Innate Value, has just been launched and is live, and you can purchase that now as a Kindle book or as a paperback book. Year-long process of creating that book. I just need to, someone is trying to call. We need to turn that off. No one is allowed to call me right now. What's happening? Okay. Sorry about that. That won't happen again because I just turned off that. Okay. Anyway, so it's been a year-long process of creating this book, and this was not fully my own idea. And the Michael Lassen, who supported the creation of this book, as most of it came through in that question and answer format, he's a transformational and business coach, was a big supporter of that and allowed for a lot of this the right questions to come through for this content to be channeled. So he will say a bit about that. And yeah, this has been it's been a really incredible process to bring this through, and I'm really excited to see what people may think about it and how it might affect your own journey. It's all about the energy of money and abundance, as this is something we all have to live with, and something in this world that can be a challenge for a lot of people. And it's something that some people are solely motivated by. And there is so much out there in the spiritual field in terms of manifesting and law of attraction and business coaches. And this is offering a holistic perspective. The Pleiadian Council share that a lot of the ways that the capitalist society conditions us to think in hierarchical ways traces back to humanity's creation by these visiting extraterrestrials known as the Anunnaki. And there's certain subliminal programs that have been alive in our consciousness since then that keep us not appreciating and understanding ourselves and not seeing our power. And this is a book about reclaiming our power and claiming the power of our gifts and using that to be able to usher in a new world. It's also about the changes that are coming in our world, that we are in this time when AI is evolving very rapidly and may replace many jobs. And this is something that shocks many people. And some people think it's a frightening issue in regards to how that might affect our consciousness. And the Pleiadian Council speak about various pathways that exist, and actually that we've been visited by hybrid extraterrestrials known as the Greys, who are actually our siblings in some multidimensional level. They're another version of humanity that has gone down that negative path. And our meeting with them and exchanging of energy and information, creating these new hybrid races, is preventing us from going down those negative pathways. Yet still the potential exists and is manifest in many of the sort of toxic things that we see in our world with certain corporations and big tech and etc. So it talks about that, and it talks about how we as a planet can evolve beyond that and into something new and better. But it starts with that own personal work of reclaiming our own value through following the formula of acting on our passion to the best of our ability without insisting on a particular outcome, which you probably have heard if you have listened to these materials before, as that is one of the core teachings. Anyway, the book speaks for itself, and there's information available about it. So I can just share quickly, how do you find this book? That's a good question. How do you find this book? You can go to tinyurl.com/innate-value, because that is a tiny URL shortens the URL of anything. And here it is. Channeling your innate value, the evolution of money and abundance on an ascending earth. Just released today, and it can even be with you that quickly, apparently. And yeah, it's available on Kindle as well. So check it out and let me know what you think. And there will be some bonus specials for people who post reviews online, as those are really special. So if you, I haven't announced the time and date yet, but if you screenshot your review of the book, then you can attend a private channeling Zoom chat. So thanks so much. And I think Michael wanted to say something or a few minutes about the book. And yeah, then we're going to start.
I just wanted to share my excitement for the book, and I just share very briefly the story from my perspective is that I studied spirituality and personal development and business as well for 25 years plus, and coached for most of those years. And throughout those years, there were always questions that I didn't feel I found myself satisfactory answers to. And I think I basically studied it all. During those years, I've helped create millionaires. I fought tooth and nails with coaching clients who had the most amazing abilities, but just wouldn't want to put them out there. And so when I got to learn Dante, I think it was 3 years ago, I was really impressed with the way that, for me, he's such a clear channel, first of all, and also that the Pleiadians has this sort of energy of love. And I thought that it would be really fascinating to see all the questions that I have built up during those 25 years, and examples and case stories, see what would happen if we brought those to the Pleiadians. And I was blown away about so many of the answers. I mean, for example, and what I really wanted to bring to the table was specificity, like actual how-tos and techniques and what to do. And so, for example, I asked about the mechanics of me winning a poker tournament, as I had the intention that if I won, I was going on a special trip, for example. I asked what I think is the obvious questions about Napoleon Hill, who wrote Think and Grow Rich, the most influential book in terms of wealth creating. What about his specific how-to? He has a 6-step formula. Like, can you expand on that? And what they, the way they expanded it, totally blew my mind. And one other thing that for me was the top 3 is that I had noticed throughout the years that a lot of millionaires started from a place of anger. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. And so they gave some amazing answers about how that happened, why it was so, and what we could do instead. So really, you know, the other thing I wanted, and which I think succeeded, is that when people have read this book, I really believe that people have more hope across all contexts, whether it's making money, whether it's the future of humanity. Because, like, I didn't plan or ask for all the stuff that they shared about how the world is evolving, as Dante said, with AI and stuff. So that's also something I left with from all these sessions, is that I have such a high hope for, you know, my own journey, but also for humanity. And I think the ability to have a book like this is, you know, I'm so happy I did this with you, Dante, and I'm really excited to see what people are gonna respond to once they've read it.
Yeah, thank you so much for sparking this book, you know, Michael, as probably wouldn't have happened otherwise, as I didn't really want to go into this territory, as I think there's a lot of people with these sorts of ideas and coaching or whatever that are just in it for the money. And that's something that's at the core of what they share, is that when you do it from a place of heart, then it's going to be much more successful and on every level, not just the financial level. And that love is the deepest connection with our value. And it's unlocking that love that allows us to ascend. And by tapping into it in this new way, we are also able to bring that love and turn it into our wealth and share that wealth. So
yeah, and one thing which I think could be the most important point to make is that the ability to tap into love and our passion is the only way we can have any competition against people who are utilizing AI or who have more money than us in terms of business, for example. AI can replicate a lot of stuff already. It's going to be a year or two. It can replicate everything. But what it can replicate is the love and the passion. And so the way that they encourage us in this book and overall in everything you do, Dante, of tapping into that love and passion, and then having all these specific how-tos of how to do it, that's what I have been looking for, and I'm so happy with this project.
Yeah, there's how-tos, there's some specific instructions and practice exercises with writing, but also meditations. And with the book comes a link to meditations that you can listen to through recordings as well. So it comes with 2 meditations. And actually, since we completed the first part of the book, actually, Michael, there's like, I would say almost double the material since then, as there was just a lot more that the Pleiadian Council wanted to add into it. So take a look at it again yourself. Anyway.
I did from the last link, and I'm very happy with what came out of that. So absolutely amazing.
Awesome. Beautiful. Cool. So let's dive into the channeling, and thanks for being here, everybody. And again, ask your questions one by one once we begin that segment. And yeah, I don't know if somebody will volunteer to read the YouTube questions. That would be pretty helpful. And yeah, also the sessions are done freely, and donations always are welcome to support that. You can find that information and the information about my one-to-one sessions and channeling course at dantestarshine.com. The channeling course is enrolling again. We haven't had a start date yet, but once we get 3 more people signed up, we're going to pick a date to launch it sometime, hopefully before the end of the year. All right, well, thanks everybody, and I'm going to begin now. Hello, and we say a fantastic day to each and every one of you. We are the Pleiadian Council, and we thank you for establishing contact with us in this way. It is a gift, it is an honor, it is a pleasure to be able to establish connection with your world. And as we do, there is an exchange of energies that allows both you and ourselves to grow and deepen into connection with Source. And for this, we are deeply appreciative. We would like to share a message today about the connection between love and abundance. Love is the essential nature of everything that exists. The Source created this particular universe with the intention of unconditional love. And the experiences of contrast that you go through as you enter physical reality are connected to Source's evolution. You get to experience the contrast of light and shadow, of positive and negative energies that informs you more and more over time of the neutral energy and unconditional love that permeates all experiences and all shades of energy. The purpose of your existence is to be yourself, and you are unconditional love. And you complete that by acting on your passion to the best of your ability without insisting on any particular outcome. As you do this, your frequency will raise. And you will emanate more of that energy of unconditional love. This unconditional love is the glue that keeps things together, and it is also the magnetism that pulls things together. It is the shield that deflects from you energies that don't resonate with you, and so much more. In your present times, you have been disconnected with your essential tribal nature. And in these more ancient times, it was the love between people that guaranteed their abundance. Your good relations with your neighbors and with other tribes allowed for there to be a healthy flow and exchange of energies. The sense of connection with the land and with the spirits of the plants and animals is what guaranteed there to be good harvests or good hunts. And this understanding of the interconnection between all things allowed for there to be an experience of symbiosis. You need to go through these other cycles of evolution. So yes, in the process, you have allowed yourself to stray from that basic understanding of the interconnection between all things. And it is reestablishing your awareness that all things are interconnected and interrelated and always giving and taking energy from each other that will allow you to live in that more holistic way. Love allows you to experience abundance. And fear guarantees that you experience scarcity. When you allow yourself to go into an unconscious survival mode, you put on blinders that stop you from seeing the innate generosity of this universe. And by opening yourself to your true nature of unconditional love, those blinders fall away and you start to see that the universe provides so much more than you had anticipated or understood before. In your world today, you are not conditioned to see that abundance because by living in scarcity, it guarantees that you will be more profitable. The controlling corporations want to make sure that you will always be motivated by that mindset of scarcity, as it is scarcity that pushes you to consume more or to work more to make sure that you can consume more and be safe and protected. Though your health is not based upon how much you have, your health is based upon how grounded in your body you are and how much you take care of your body and take care of your energy, and also how much passion and love you experience. This is the missing force that you are now starting to discover. Even those in the field of health in the mainstream now recognize more and more that if people are not happy, they will not be healthy. Changing into this new world requires that all of you make your own happiness the most basic priority. But to discover true happiness, you have to erase the stories that you are told of what happiness is. And now in times of social media, there are different sorts of stories that are pushed. And within your own communities and sub-communities, you will see different stories of happiness that are normalized. Yet, because every soul is totally unique, each and every one of you has your own unique path to happiness. And this is why your own internal awareness of your own personal experience is what is more important than anything else. Within you, the intelligence of the universe is guiding you through that feeling of love and passion that pushes you towards certain things. And when you stop resisting and let love guide you, more and more over time, it will feel as if love has taken over. And you are not necessarily controlling as much as you are choosing to allow this force of love to move through you and act through you. It is a surrender to your higher self, which is the greatest blessing in opening to unconditional love and letting that love inundate your very experience and change your fundamental nature. And as more and more of you experience this, your planet will also experience this at a collective level, allowing for a collective blooming, a collective flowering of hearts and souls connected with Source in profound and powerful ways. So, our great thanks to you for allowing us to share this information with you. And in the book that we have created with the channel, Channeling Your Innate Value, you will be able to go much more deep into these concepts and experience them on many levels and understand the complete picture of your own personal path to this flowering and your collective path to it as well. So we may begin now with your questions whenever you wish.
Hi, Pleiadians.
Hello, yes.
Hi, I have a question about what your definition of leadership is, and also if you could comment on what you see as the challenge and the potential solution to the leadership crisis that we see these days on Earth.
Well, leadership is to be led by Source, which is within your own heart. That higher self communicates to you through that feeling in your heart, that pull in your heart. And when you allow yourself to be led, then you can be a true positive leader. Negative leadership you could see as being led by the ego, being led by that sense of a separate self that can become so selfish that it wants nothing more than to push its own motives and to have more and be more. Whereas the leadership of Source, of the heart, is collective in nature. It sees the greater good of all beings as part of its own greater good. It prioritizes more than anything else that experience of love and joy, and knows that that love is the path to wholeness and the only path to the true happiness. When you are your own example of this, you will lead many others. When you have a complete surrender to your own higher self, you will allow many others to take that same path. Leadership doesn't mean you have to tell other people what to do. It does not mean you have to have all of the answers. It does not mean that you have to have a grand vision. All of you have leadership qualities in the sense that you have the power to be led by your higher self. And this will inspire others. A leader needs to inspire, because when you recognize that humans will be much more efficient when they are internally motivated by their own feeling of passion, the idea of controlling them or trying to tell them how to do what they are supposed to do will seem very inefficient. This is one of the greatest problems with leaderships in your world now, is that you suppose that there is a formulaic way of doing things, that this step comes before that step in a very intricate pathway of tasks and delegating tasks and so on and so forth. Whereas when you come to trust the innate intelligence of every human being in a deeper way, and that everybody has that guiding force of love within them that can bring them to make the right choices for themselves, you will come to understand that the universe is programmed with a self-organizing principle, and you don't need so many protocols and contingencies and different sorts of organization of people to make things efficient. Instead, you will start to trust more on people's own preferences and desires, and let them be guided by love in ways that will help them fulfill their own purposes.
Wow, that's so beautiful. Thank you so much. Just a follow-up question. I see so much anger these days around the world. In terms of leadership, is there anything you can recommend in terms of wanting to inspire people who are really caught up in anger?
The anger needs to be channeled internally. Anger is energy. Anger can be a creative or a destructive energy, but anger is a very powerful energy. And you are conditioned with so many destructive expressions of anger in your world, from everything you see on your televisions and your internet channels. You get this idea that the best thing to do with anger is to take it out. What if you took it in? Take the anger inside and become very aware that anger is there because you are feeling violated in some way. It is right to feel angry when you live in a world that is so unfair and so unjust. Though when you try to take it out on others, you are also being unjust in many ways, as you aren't trusting that the universe has its own natural mechanism for karmic retribution. And so often you are as misguided to think that certain people deserve punishment when they're not the ones at the core responsible for this injustice. Instead, direct this energy inwards to truly come to understand how you have the power to overcome the injustice rather, and the negative conditions in your world today. That anger can be the spark for a greater passion to emerge. That anger can be a prime motivating drive to support you in establishing your own grounds, your own business, bringing out your passion in the world. If you are so angry that you are seeing so much incompetence in your world, let that anger inspire you to be the creator of greater competence in the areas that matter to you. If you are angry about so much injustice in the world, let that anger inspire you to create systems that do support justice and create platforms that do promote ideas that will change the collective consciousness in this way. This is a much more creative use of this energy. And also, this anger that is bubbling in the collective is a big part of why there are temperature increases globally, as the anger has a higher heat, so to speak. And it is inspiring that shift in your environment as well. And in a sense, this is necessary to support the change, though it might take a bit more time for most people to catch on board with understanding these constructive uses of this energy. And as people do, that's when you will see some of the greatest changes to come. It will not come from the top down, it will come from the bottom up.
Thank you so much. That was so profound. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thanks to you as well. We will say, just to echo, that this anger is actually one of the most powerful energies that exists in your body to create, accomplish, and achieve. But you have to learn how to channel it. And doing so involves not suppressing it, and at the same time, not acting it outwardly destructively. Channel it within you. Feel this energy as a powerful surge that can uplift your heart. If you feel the energy of anger rush to your head, bring it back into your heart. And allow yourself to churn a powerful, powerful fire here.
Hello.
Hello, welcome. Yes.
So I have a little question.
All right.
Tonight when I was on my usual walk in the nature, I
All right.
saw on the sky like a brief light across the sky, like a falling star, but for a very short time, like a second or something.
All right.
Wondering if was something there interesting or just my sensation.
It was a shooting star, yes.
Oh, shooting star. All right. I think this is for, I don't have any other for the moment. Maybe I will come back when I have other
So
questions.
do you understand the synchronicity of seeing that star?
The synchronicity, not
Yes.
exactly.
You see things at the right time. You see things because you are in the vibrational frequency to be able to experience and perceive them. So when you come to understand that reality is a feedback system, you can come to understand that everything that you perceive is a mirror reflection of your internal state or your frequency. So you have to be at the frequency of a phenomena like a shooting star to be able to see it at just the right time. You can also choose to gaze at the stars for long periods of time, and many have done this, and it is a practice in gaining perspective. Just because you're gazing at the sky doesn't mean that you are going to be looking at the place where the shooting star falls. So even if you are choosing to gaze at the sky, it does still represent being in the right frequency when you can witness those stars. And yes, there are certain times of the year when there are meteor showers. And these are particularly cosmically charged events because there is a high degree of phenomena visible that is calling you to gaze to the stars and gain perspective. The stars are a powerful mirror into the soul, and that's why they've been studied since ancient times. And shooting stars and other aerial phenomena are also these powerful mirrors and can represent very much to you when you choose to observe them and witness what about that moment was significant. What frequency was I in, or what was I thinking about?
It was interesting because in that moment I wasn't necessarily thinking about the sky or any of those things.
What were you thinking about then?
I was just coming from I just helped it was a stray cat and I helped her. I gave him some food and I just returned in this place in nature when I usually go, and I was thinking about how the cat is now because I took her in a place with more people, and I was just thinking about that. That's what I was thinking, and I don't know what was the symbolistic behind that star relating to this.
It can represent that the universe is giving you a sign that the cat is well now, and the cat has found its way into a better environment, and also as a thanks for your support. As everything you put out comes back, your good action towards the cat will most certainly come back to you.
That is very good to know. So can you actually read that if the cat found something in that area where I took her?
The cat is doing very well now.
All right. All right. Thank you very much, Pleiadian.
Oh, thanks. You as well.
Bye-bye.
Adios for now.
And hi.
Hello, welcome.
Yeah, hi, Pleiadians, and it's a pleasure to connect with you. I would like to ask you, you were talking about anger, and then you
Yes.
say you can bring anger to, for example, if it's in your head, in your mind, you can bring it to your heart.
Yes.
What about releasing, for example? What do you think about it? Releasing it, how could we do it? Or is it that you meant by bring it to your heart?
That's a good question. What you are releasing is not necessarily the energy of anger itself, but you are releasing the buildup of stress that the anger is causing. And the best way to release that is by breathing deeper and exercising. Both deeper practices of breathing allow your body to come into a more balanced emotional state. It regulates your nervous system. It allows more oxygen to flow through the brain, and it releases the stress hormones. And also exercising does a very similar thing, and it provides you with a release of endorphins that keep you from getting into such highly charged emotional states to begin with. So you'll find that when you release this stress, the thing that made you angry doesn't make you as powerfully angry. Though when it comes to anger towards people who have wronged you or aspects of your world, you don't need to push that idea away and those feelings away. You simply have to make sure that they don't bring you to become stressed out and reactive. Understand that you're feeling that way for a reason. And by allowing yourself to explore the feeling and channeling that energy into love, you will find a way to bring resolution so that you are no longer angry.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes.
That is for now.
All right. We would also say that some of you get impulses to sometimes destroy or break things. And there's even people who create therapies for anger that involve doing so. And we would encourage you that if you feel like you must go this far, to play it out in your imagination first. As when you act something out in physical reality, it's like you are installing programming in your consciousness that would encourage you to do it again. So if you yell and scream, or if you smash a couple of plates, you might feel as if you're satisfying an urge, but you're simultaneously laying the foundation for you to do the exact same thing again. So we don't encourage you to do this at all. We would encourage you again to focus on breathing, exercising, meditating, and then using that charge to accomplish and do and make changes. And as you do this, you will find that these patterns resolve very easily, actually.
Wonderful.
no one else has questions, we'll add while we have the time that when you feel anger, you have to also recognize that care is necessary too. Care for yourself. When there is great anger, sometimes it is difficult to remember that beneath that anger, there is fear. And holding yourself and caring for yourself will be very helpful. Remember that anger is the response that comes to give you the energy to overcome threat. So if you're feeling a threat, on a certain level, there is fear. And this threat can be the threat of not having enough, or it can be the threat of minor inconveniences. But regardless of what's causing the anger, there is a feeling of threat, and therefore that is connected with fear. And when you feel fear, you have to reassure yourself that you are safe, and you have to care for yourself. So this is the other part of this process, is to allow yourself to take ease and hold your heart. Holding your heart and connecting with your heart can allow for anger or any energy that has risen up too far into your head to sink back down. And remember that your heart is the point of transmutation. And any energy that you're capable of holding in your heart can balance and transform. So we don't like the idea of release so much. Many of you focus very much on releasing energies. And we want you to focus more on transforming energies. You can release attachments, and that is very helpful. But to release emotions makes you think as if you are taking an energy that's within you and pushing it outside of you. But the energy that is within you is always going to be a part of you. And you might find yourself constantly going through processes where you feel as if I need to release this and now it's back and I need to release it again. But conceiving of this more in terms of transformation will help you very much, as you will come to understand that the same energies and beliefs and emotions that once troubled you can become supportive parts and helpful to you when you hold them in your heart and ask your higher self to show you how can these energies and these emotions become something useful for me. Remember that your emotions are your guidance system and you're feeling something for a reason. So don't attempt to push away your emotions. Ask yourself, what are these emotions trying to show me? When we speak of release, you can, yes, release stress, as stress is caused by emotions becoming too intense for prolonged periods of time, or the fact that you are resisting emotions or putting yourself in uncomfortable situations. So stress is different from emotions itself, though stress can amplify emotions. Releasing stress is about bringing a balanced energy into your nervous system. But you'll find that when you release stress, you don't get rid of emotions. You allow yourself to have more clarity into them. They don't feel as intense on a certain level, but you feel them just as much. If not, you feel them deeper, because that static energy of the stress is out of your system. So when you can fully see the emotions and experience them for what they are, then you can really tap into your power to transform them. So release the stress and transform your beliefs and their emotions. I hope that helps all of you.
Hi again. Somebody on YouTube asked if you could comment on the situation with the celebrity and presenter Russell Brand, who has been largely censored after having some accusations thrown at him.
So it is an interesting situation, as it is true in many senses that this individual has abused his power in that dynamic, though your world is now moving in the direction of canceling and restricting anyone who has ever done anything remotely off. So it is sort of like going back to that classic idiom that two wrongs don't make a right. But it will be this way for some time.
Hello, Pleiadian Council.
Hello, yes.
I would like to hear your definition of romantic love when it emerges.
There was a glitch there. Say that again.
Where does the romantic, what is romantic love? What's the definition
Yes.
of it? And when does it emerges?
When it emerges?
Yes.
Well, romantic love has many expressions itself. This can be the romantic love that forms over time and is the bond between two people that have been in a relationship. It can be the spark of attraction and chemistry that forms between these people, or it can also be what you might call as infatuation or limerence. So there are also more subcategories within these three realms of romantic love, but we can talk about all of them a little bit. And we'll start with the chemistry between individuals. This is when there is that spark of love that is mutual and is based upon two souls essentially lining up with each other. Often there is a recognition at a soul level, but that these two souls have been together in other lifetimes and that they are coming back together. Though if people don't conceive of things in that way and they don't have many spiritual beliefs, they might still feel a sense of familiarity with that soul and a sense of connection with that soul. Your sexual chemistry and attraction does play a big role in this. It is part of how these two souls line up with each other and match with each other, though there may also be, and hopefully there are, corresponding personality traits that can bring those souls together in deeper ways. So that isn't always the case. Sometimes chemistry doesn't mean that there is compatibility, but we would say that that feeling of sexual chemistry can still lead to a feeling of love between people. And if there is compatibility, and if those two souls stay connected with each other for periods of time and share experiences together and build trust with each other, and both of those souls are also at a level of self-maturity and emotional intelligence that they don't project onto the other soul constantly and create conflict, then there comes to be the deeper bond of love, the being deeply in love, the sort of unbreakable bond that two souls feel when they have shared that journey of romantic love together for a period of time. And then there is a very different kind of love that we would call infatuation, and is also called limerence in your world. And this is when one soul sees another soul and projects love onto them. It can be for feelings of attraction, or it can be because that soul is seeing in the other soul something that one does not feel as if they have. One's disowned positive qualities are seen in the other, and that soul falls head over heels into the other person. And this infatuation is still an expression of love, we would say, because this other person becomes the object of one individual's desire, and it sparks a feeling of unconditional love. And it's a very basic expression of unconditional love, but it nonetheless is a form of unconditional love. It is unconditional in that infatuation leads one to be totally blind to the true nature of the other person. When one is infatuated, this other person might have many negative qualities. They might be waving red flags in your face, as you say, and the infatuated person will not see any of this at all. They will only see the constructed projection that they are overlaying onto that person. And often when there is this kind of infatuation, it is a self-protective mechanism. When one plays games of obsession with another person, they are using the good feelings that that person inspires in them to cover up the negative emotions that they are feeling, to push away the negative emotions they are feeling. They might spend hours in fantasy creating stories with this other person that could never be true, as a way of covering up their discomfort or their boredom. So infatuation is a protective mechanism. And it can also be a protective mechanism to cover up feelings of shame or unworthiness, as the story of being with that person could potentially make that feeling of shame or unworthiness go away, or so the infatuated individual thinks.
Thank you. And why does this romantic love usually fades away after some time?
Well, the attraction, the chemistry might get dull after a period of time. This is something like being accustomed to the familiarity of anything. People experience this with so many areas of life. They have great dreams and great aspirations, and then they get there and then it starts to fade. And this is why you have to continuously come up with new experiences based upon your excitement. Though you're not taught that. You're taught that your life follows this one trajectory. You go to school, and then you go to school again, and then you get a job, and then you get married, and then you have kids, and then you die after some period of time. And you might do things like vacation in the meantime, but you're not taught to be on your toes. You're not taught to be so connected with your heart and so connected to the changing nature of your heart that you allow for the unexpected to be considered and be a part of the equation. And this is necessary, especially in your relationships. You need to continuously make it exciting. because if you don't have a bond that is based in excitement and you don't do things that excite each other together, then the bond will not continue to grow. At the very least, you must encourage each other to follow your excitement. Because if you don't feel that somebody is supporting your passion, then that person won't feel very loving for you. And we would say that they are not being loving towards you. So at the very least, you have to support each other in following your own passion, and then that feeling of love can continue to grow. Ideally, you do things that you are passionate about together.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. And
Thank you,
one more
Chandra.
question.
Thank you. Thank you.
May I ask another question, please?
All right.
What's the purpose of aging?
Dying.
What does
You age so that you die, basically. Why?
Okay, because death can be sudden. It does not need to be caused by aging.
It can be if that's your sole agreement.
And
But
what's the
for most
root
souls,
cause?
it is helpful to have a gradual transition, to get the sign over periods of time that you are starting to leave this world and that your body is starting to be more limited. And that's why you have these experiences of aging. They also teach you about your about your mortality, rather. And you have these experiences of problems with your back and your digestive system and so on and so forth to teach you about your limits. Your body is not a machine that is meant to be worked all the time. You are meant to enjoy the experience of being in your body and use your body in joyful and healing ways. And so you have these experiences to reflect to you that you are not being caring towards yourself and that you need to change your ways so that you can be caring towards yourself and enjoy the experience of being in your body. Though regardless of how well you take care of your body, eventually you will have some health complications, and eventually your body will stop serving you in certain ways, and eventually you will then die. And as you come closer to that point of death, you are being closer to the point of being birthed into spirit, of being immersed into spirit. And so as you are coming to depart physical reality, then it's helpful to have little signs and tips that your container is coming to its expiration date. It's no longer working. It's causing you pain. It's causing you to detach from physical reality. It's causing you to let go of your attachment to physical reality. And so it's helpful to have some of these signs and experiences and symptoms of aging, though many of them, such as the aches and the pains, are not just because you're getting old, it's because you're not taking care of yourself and you're not tending to your truest passion.
So basically, the root cause of aging is decision to transition.
Thank you, Pleiadian Council.
Yes.
And how
but
to
it's
be
a decision
ageless?
that you made as soon as you were born.
Sure, yes.
That you will.
And to be ageless, because there are many individuals that live a long time.
They are deluded in thinking that they will not die, but they can live for a very long time, yes.
And how do they do it?
Taking away all stress. Stress is what ages you. So they live secluded lives and they don't expose themselves to the stresses of your world.
Yes, and I believe they enjoy their life.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Oh, our thanks to you as well.
Hello, Pleiadian Council. My name is Barbara.
Hello, welcome. Yes.
I have been asked to read you the questions. There's one person who wants to ask some questions on the Zoom, and there are
All
several
right.
people that want to ask the questions on YouTube.
All right.
So I'll start with the question on the Zoom call, and then if I have time, I'd like to ask a question myself.
All right.
So these questions are from Kim. She often gets rashes and inflammation on her face and skin, head skin from stimulating or spicy foods. By what belief does this happen, and what lessons have I not yet learned from this allergy?
You have accumulated too much heat in your body. And this heat can be, at an emotional level, repressed anger or unprocessed anger. So you need to get to the root cause of this. This heat can also be
Okay.
a sort of ambition that is overcharged. And you need to bring this into balance. Your body needs to detoxify, particularly your liver and your colon are having a certain toxic load. And there are various herbs and protocols that you could go through to reduce some of this. Though you need to accept in the moment that you can't add more heat into the mix and that it will create this irritation. You may also note that when you experience great degrees of stress, then you have an outburst. Stress is an energetic manifestation of heat as well. As a temporary solution to reduce your symptoms, you can use coconut oil and the essential oils of calendula and helichrysum to bring about a balancing of this on your skin.
What was calendula, and what was the second one for the skin?
Helichrysum.
Healing chrism.
Helichrysum.
Helichrysum. Okay. So there's two more questions which you have pretty much answered from this person, I think. By what belief does this happen, and what lessons have I not yet learned from this allergy? What supplements do you recommend to apply or take to the area after inflammation occurs? Among aroma oils, which oils relieve skin inflammation?
Oh, yes. We did answer much of that, but we'll say
Yes, it's very interesting. Thank you.
the beliefs have to do with a feeling of disempowerment. What do you believe that causes you to feel disempowered? What do you believe that causes you to compensate for that disempowerment by overworking or stressing yourself out? What do you tolerate in relationships or in your employment that stresses you out? How can you deal with those stresses? So we can add some internal herbs into the mix as well. You would want to take the Ayurvedic herb Triphala, and you can add even more amla into the mix. Amla is already in Triphala, but you can take even more of this on the side. Take the amla in the morning, take the Triphala at night. You can also drink a lot of chamomile tea. All right.
So should I move to the questions on the YouTube channel because there's only 15 minutes left?
You can also ask your question and then move to the questions in whatever order you prefer.
Okay, I don't know if there may be other people as well that on the call, on the Zoom call.
That's all right.
Okay, just tell me which way, which direction, how I should organize it.
It is entirely up to you.
That's funny. Thank you so much. Okay, so I have been a contactee for many years, and I still haven't been able to communicate with words, because words are what I understand in my level of consciousness. And as far as I know, I'm not communicating with words, although sometimes I get words, but very rarely. And also, I would like to know who is it that is visiting me, because I see a lot of ships and stars and orbs occasionally. So this is the information that I would like to be able to access by myself. I was wondering if you can help me with that. And I know it's a very big question, but
The sightings and the extraterrestrial phenomena you are dealing with would be that of the Sasani and the Arcturians. Though there are also some other beings that come into the mix, these are the ones that want to step into the forefront and connect to you most. You have some soul agreements there. Some of the orbs and other phenomena you experience are nature spirits and disincarnate souls. You are open to many different realms, and so you might experience many of their realities sometimes simultaneously. Especially as you do some of your connection in nature, you might get information and energy from the nature spirits. In order to go deeper with them, offer them some sort of exchange, like herbs or crystals or something of this nature. Offer it with intention and allow yourself to connect subtly to their realm. They can communicate with your inner senses, and they can also communicate by bending the electromagnetic spectrum of light around you, such as by creating orbs. Also, some of the disincarnate spirits that you, some of them you know, and some of them you don't know but are connected with, can create the phenomena of orbs as well. There are certain souls around you that are seeking your attention as a way of getting to source, getting back to the other side. And they don't necessarily know how to do it on their own. So you might want to communicate with them more clearly.
okay, thanks. I may need some help with that. I'll do it. I'll think about that. Thank you very much. A plane flew right over the house at the beginning when you were talking. It's very ironic. So I couldn't hear the first sentence of what you said about the extraterrestrials. I don't
Sasani and the Arcturians.
What you said before you got to the orbs.
The Sasani and the Arcturians. So yes, listen to the recording again.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Arcturians and the other one?
Sasani.
Okay, I'll listen to the recording again. Okay, good idea. Okay, thank you so much. Okay. So then on the YouTube chat, let's just a second. Somebody would like to know if you can comment about what is happening with Russell Brand.
Oh, we did that one.
You did that already? Okay.
Yes.
And what is the difference between a Kundalini awakening and Kundalini activation? Thank you.
They're different terms. They are essentially, actually, we can see a differentiation. We can see a differentiation in that an activation might mean that the Kundalini energy that is dormant at your spine starts to wake up and shake about and move and start its upward ascension through the chakras. We could see that you might call the complete process the awakening, in that when this Kundalini reaches the crown chakra, then it has fully gone through its complete awakening. So if you use these terms, then yes, the activation is when the beginnings of this process begin. And the very beginning of the process can include extreme sexual feelings, feelings of deep fear and panic, anxiety, blissful energies, extra sensory phenomena, and much more. It is essentially purging your lower chakras of their energy. And so everything that is dormant here comes to the surface, and then gradually it moves from the lower chakras through the solar plexus, heart, and the throat. And the same thing happens in each chakra. Though, again, we'll note that there can be waves of Kundalini awakening. This can happen again and again and again. You might go through one wave of Kundalini awakening where a certain burst of energy moves through all of your chakras to your crown. You might go through another burst of energy where a different sort of aspect of the Kundalini ascends through your body. Any other questions?
Okay, thank you. Yes. This is a question from Joe. I will be moving out of the apartment I have been living in for 6 years on November the 1st at the request of my landlord. I'll go to 1304 on the 13th floor of a building, which is number 122, the apartment next door. What is the spiritual meaning of this? Thanks.
Well, first of all, moving into a new place is beginning a new chapter of your life, beginning a new way of grounding into the earth, allowing yourself to open up to a new sort of phenomena. And the 13 is the number of transformation and the divine feminine, connected to 13 lunar cycles of a solar year. And so this experience will be one of allowing yourself to tap deeper into that divine feminine energy. It is also symbolizing a chapter of allowing yourself to trust more the inner feminine, which is your heart and your intuition, letting yourself being guided by this and letting yourself being connected to your feeling nature and everything that it is guiding you towards, becoming so connected to the inner energies in your body and in your inner being that you are divinely inspired to know about the synchronicities and symbols and the energies that are guiding you in any moment.
Okay, thank you very much.
Oh,
there's one more question from the YouTube chat.
Somebody needs
in my
to
timeline,
mute themselves.
Is that okay? One more question?
Yes.
Okay. In my timeline, what's the spiritual meaning of the discharge of Fukushima nuclear contaminated water? What's its impact on the marine environment? Should I refrain from eating seafood in the future?
Yes, there is still a great amount of nuclear impact that is making its way through the Pacific Ocean and out of the system. And in general, fish is a more dense vibration food that has some specific benefits. You need to listen to your own body and act accordingly. And we would suggest and encourage taking specific supplements to clear some of this nuclear energy from your body. The specific ones that we suggest more than anything else would be the things like kelp, spirulina, and chlorella. And we understand that some people have concerns that even these plants can be in environments where there is some degree of toxins. However, as binding agents, they will still pull out the toxins in your body, even if they had toxins around them.
Thank you, Pleiadian Council. There's still some more questions from the chat. Are you okay to go
That's
on,
all
or
right.
shall we stop the session?
That is all right. That is all right. We
I
can
can
answer them.
continue?
Yes.
Okay. What would I need to do to become consciously aware of communication from my guides and spirit? Thank you.
Tap into meditation. Ask them to come through. Ask them to meet you. Follow some guided meditation tools to allow yourself to connect with your guides. There are many out there, and the channel has some. And by doing this regularly, you will be able to listen to the whispers of your guides. Imagine rays of light from the center of the universe that go through your crown chakra and come into your heart, and pay attention. This is one visualization, there are many more. You will have to also learn that your inner feelings, your inner visions, and even voices in your head are all ways that your guides might communicate with you. Don't expect it to be a big boom at first, but instead pay attention to all of these subtle things. And when you listen to the whispers, they will become louder and louder with time.
Thank you. Another question. Is the so-called superconductor LK99 made in South Korea real? Will it be a breakthrough to a new civilization? What role does South Korea play in my timeline towards open contact, and what kind and what kind of future does it unfold? That's from RU. I don't know how you pronounce that.
Ooh, we can't say so much about the specific super accelerator, but we can say that science in general is uncovering great new discoveries in the realm of quantum physics that is supporting your planet in coming to understand the movement and trajectory of energy more. And it will be in conjunction with open contact that this technology is used to create more rapid transportation that will allow interplanetary travel and much more. All right. Is that all for now? Is there anybody else in the Zoom who has questions at this time?
I would have a question.
Yes.
I kept seeing a lot of black cats crossing my path recently. I mean, I have been seeing them, I think, also for about 1-2 years, in which I also had the event with my brother passing away. And I was just wondering, because I still see them, and I'm just wondering what's going to happen now, or what is the significance of them.
They're representing to you a multidimensional presence, that your brother is still with you, and so are many other souls. Black cats have this ominous connotation in your world of bad luck, but you associate bad luck with death and the other side because you don't know what to make of it. And really, that is what this energy of black is so often representing, is death and the realm that is beyond death. And they can be a hint and a pointer to you to open up to these transmissions and information from those who have already crossed over, and to remember that they are with you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yes, thanks to you.
Bye-bye.
Going once. All right. We believe that that is the perfect time for us to end this transformation or end this transmission and allow the transformation to begin a new phase. Yes. So our great thanks and our great love to all of you for co-creating this interaction and allowing us to get to meet you and experience your reality and you to experience ours. And we affirm again that you are here to be you and you are here to allow Source to express through you. And your truest self is a gift to this creation. Our unconditional love to you and wish you a fantastic rest of your day then. Okay, cool. How's everybody doing? How was that?
Very good. Really clear today. That was beautiful, Dante.
Wonderful. Oh,
And
you're
Pleiadian.
welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Very nice.
Thank you for being here. So many beautiful
Thank you very
people
much,
here. We
Dante.
got a whole group on Zoom. You're welcome.
Yes, thank you very much, Dante. Thanks for all the information, all the love, all the energy. Thank you to everybody for your
You're welcome.
time and everything. For their time, I don't know. I know that they don't have time, but yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
I would
I
like to be like
experienced the time. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. Thanks for being here and making this possible. And know that the audience grows mostly organically through people sharing this with others. So if you have friends who might benefit from this information or are interested in channeling, please spread around the videos that I share and let them know about these live streams, and the community will keep growing. And I'm definitely excited to be on some more podcasts soon and co-create in that way. And I'd love to hear from you. How do you experience these transmissions? And if the Pleiadian Council gives you specific advice, please write me back later and let me know how's that developed for you, because I'm just curious of all the people who come in here. How does this energy and how does this information really impact your life?
Okay.
Yeah. And so for those who might have tuned in late, just a reminder that the oh, hi Mike. Mahalo.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm great.
Hey, Mahalo.
Hi.
I wanted to remind everybody, here's that book. It just came out. Channeling Your Innate Value. Thank you.
It
The
looks so
Evolution of Money
beautiful.
and Abundance on an Ascending Earth. Yeah, I was with Amanda as I was polishing up the cover a bit. And yeah, so that's a kind of complex link, but look, tinyurl.com/innate value. And then it just pops up again.
Easy peasy.
Yeah. And I also have the guidebook to Living Love on Earth, which is a much longer and more encompassing work that's really about the ascension process and the transformation of our world on a broader level. This new book is more focused, and I think they're both great reads. And yeah, the first book is a kind of heavy book. It's like weighs over a pound. It's real nuggets.
All good stuff.
Yeah. How are you doing, Mahalo?
Excellent. I just got to Italy and life is good. Life is always good. I've got good advice from you and I apply it. So I'm having a great time.
Wonderful.
I don't have questions anymore.
Mostly.
It's all just flow. Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm leaving to Mexico next week.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's exciting. It's exciting, a little nerve-wracking. I'm tired of traveling, but it'll be okay. Just have to sort through a bunch of things these next couple of weeks.
Are you excited to go to Mexico again?
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited. I just have to do some like bureaucracy things in Mexico City first, which I'm not excited about. But once I do that, I'm going to be really excited.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's a feeling of dread and excitement at the same time.
Yeah, indeed, yeah.
Yoa, thanks for being here as well. Everybody, thanks.
Cheers. I gotta move on.
Adios, mahalo.
Adios. Ciao, ciao. Alla prossima.
Ciao.
Ciao for now.
See you next time.
So thank
Ciao,
you very much,
everybody.
Dante.
Baron, you're very
Ciao, bye.
welcome.
Yeah,
Baron,
until the next time. Hasta la próxima. Yeah.
hasta la próxima. See you then.
Nos vemos. Ciao.
Nos vemos.
Bye.
Saw some new names in the Zoom members today. Hello, Var and Paul. I've not seen you here before. Thanks for being here, everybody. Yeah, a reminder as well, I'm available for personal sessions and the channeling course. And these free sessions I do are welcome for donation. So all of the information is on dantestarshine.com. I hope to see you soon. Thanks for your support and spreading the word about this information and the channeling. And stay tuned as I will be doing another one relatively soon, making up for the one that I skipped last month. Have a great day, everybody. Much love, many blessings, and catch you next time.
Love to all.
Love to all.
Bye.
Love is all.
Love is all.
Bye.
Love is it.
It's all love.
It is.
Yeah. Okay.
Ciao.
Ciao. And now